Some movies like to push their boundaries of subverting expectations to their vertical limit. Today, let's talk about the smash hit Vertical Limit from the year 2000, directed by Martin Campbell. Vertical Limit is a movie I remember laughing at a lot when I was a kid, and I just rewatched it again as an adult. And let me tell you, it's a lot worse, even more funny. This is an action-adventure film with a tone that's just way too serious, and a story that's not that serious. It seemed to have had a decent budget with terrible actors, and the story was completely unrealistic, especially when we get to those explosives. The Rotten Tomato score sits at a 49%, and it is a 6 out of 10 according to IMDb. The budget was approximately $75 million, and it did okay because it did make $215 million worldwide. So here is a spoiler-free plot summary. Here we go. The story takes place at K2, which feels like it's in the late 90s or right at 2000. That's right when the movie came out, so let's just assume right there. It never actually says when. The main characters are Peter, played by Chris O'Donnell, and Annie, played by Robin Tunney. You know, that one from The Craft, the one that was in the lead spot that had zero personality. Feeling responsible for his father's death during a climbing expedition, Peter has quit climbing in favor of photography, while his sister Annie went on and become a top climber. After Annie is hired by a wealthy businessman named Elliot, played by the late Bill Paxton, to lead a trek up K2, inclement weather happens and then they all get trapped. Facing his fears, Peter assembles a rescue team, including this guy named Montgomery, who is played by Scott Glenn, to go and save them. That's basically the plot of the movie. Very predictable. You kind of can guess what kind of happens, and there it is. Here is a spoiler review summary of the plot, and if you want to skip this, go to this time code that will be right here on the screen. So here we go. The movie starts with Peter, Annie, and their dad climbing a mountain. Something crazy happens, like the people above them dropping an entire bag. This causes everyone to slip and dangle on a rope. Annie's sorry ass is incapable of doing anything and is instantly pegged as the one character who is incapable of making any decisions by herself. Hasn't even been 2 minutes in the movie, and that is basically her character right there. Everything you need to know about her is right there. Their dad tells them to cut the rope or they're all going to die. Peter, without hesitation, cuts the rope and sends their dad straight to hell. They actually show this. Look at this.
God damn it.
Damn.
Then we flash forward. Peter becomes a photographer, and Annie keeps on climbing. The one who is incapable of doing anything and making any decisions becomes a top climber. What are the odds? So Peter's out taking pictures of mystical animals, and for no reason at all, his partner randomly slips and falls in the most violent way anyone has ever seen.
No, ma'am.
It's not even important because we don't even know nothing about that guy and we never hear about him ever again. Anyway, Annie turns out to become a climber and she's leading this trek up K2, led by a serial killer billionaire, Elliot Vaughn, played by Bill Paxton. Peter hears about this and drops in for a visit. They reconnect, and considering the last time they saw each other, Peter pretty much killed their dad. Everything seems to be all good, so it works out. Some weird mountain man has no toes due to searching for his wife for 4 years, who was killed on a trek up K2 that was then led by, guess who? Elliot, the same billionaire who's about to lead the new trek up the mountain. Like, what the hell? He survived last time, but somehow his entire crew died. Everyone but him. It's because he killed them. Anyway, the expedition starts and bad weather blows in. And the lead climber advises for everyone to turn back for safety, but the rich-ass billionaire Elliot says no.
Don't be a little bitch.
I'm rich and you're not. So let's keep on going. I'm right by default. He was wrong. The weather gets super bad, even worse than they predicted. But as predicted, Annie's non-climbing weak ass does something stupid and causes everyone to fall into a crevasse. A crevasse in an ice mountain is a deep crack or fissure that forms in a glacier. It's essentially a large crack in the ice caused by stress as the glacier moves over uneven mountain terrain, making it a dangerous hazard for inexperienced climbers, like the world-class climber Annie in this movie. And now, Annie, Bill Paxton, and some unimportant character are trapped in this crevasse. Peter is like,
oh my god, my sister, oh no, we gotta go save him, oh my god.
So he organizes a rescue party and enlists that crazy mountain man. But for some reason, they decide to visit this Pakistani military base that supplies them with some very dangerous nitroglycerin, liquid explosive to blast through stuff. Instead of practical explosives like dynamite or, some grenades, something that average non-military people can handle, they give them enough nitroglycerin to blow up K2 twice, the entire mountain. It's so much, it should be like a war crime.
Son of a bitch.
Damn.
So they go ahead and head up the mountain. Then the three who needs rescuing instantly become sick with a sickness that freezes the water in your lungs, that causes cuts and rips to your lungs and eventually kills you. Something like that.
Crazy as hell.
Basically. So the race against the clock is on. The helicopter chooses the most dangerous spot to drop everyone off. It is extremely out of control and borderline insane how the helicopter dropped off the team. Look at this.
Son of a bitch.
Heads up!
Then afterwards, the rescue team splits up for some reason and takes 4 different routes. The whole purpose is for people to stay together to go rescue others. Now there are 4 teams with 4 bombs on their backs, so get ready. Due to the contents of their explosive containers, which is
weapons grade nitroglycerin,
everyone starts doing stupid stuff like civilians who are not trained to carry that stuff would do. So they all start blowing up.
God bless America.
Everyone dies except Peter, some woman with cat-like, very unrealistic swinging capabilities, and that mountain man, because he was with Peter. So those are all the people who didn't get blown up, those 3. Bill Paxton goes ahead and kills that lesser important character, and he and Annie drain all of that guy's blood, like every last drop of it. They put it in a bag and rig it up to mark where they are. Somehow a hole forms in the top of this crevasse, so they rig up a way to put the bag up through the hole and then blow it up to mark where they are. Look at how much blood came out that bag.
Damn.
Which came out of that one man's body. That alone should have taken this movie from PG-13 to a hard R, because that is a lot of blood. Imagine how long it took them to drain that out of that one man. And how did they do that? Peter and the mountain man then finds them due to that very large area marked with blood. Oh yeah, and I guess that woman too, right? Or she probably died or something. I don't know what happened to that lady. They kind of didn't really explain what happened to the woman. I think she survived, but I guess not. She probably got blown up. I don't know.
God bless America.
They then use some of their liquid explosives to blow a hole in the area where there already was a hole at. More explosions, action movie.
Money.
The mountain man comes down first and rigs up Annie like just a bag to send her up first because her weak ass is just the first one dying, you know, because she's Annie. But let's back up a minute. When the whole team started blowing themselves up earlier, the blast revealed the mountain man's wife he'd been looking for years. By far, the most unintentionally funny part in this entire movie. Somehow, he discovers that all of her special meds called Dex that she needed to use to survive was used by someone else. And he concludes it was Elliot, Bill Paxton's character. Because how did everyone else freeze to death but he survived? Simple, he killed the ball by using their Dex. Because of this, Mountain Man and Bill Paxton's character then fight. The Mountain Man sacrifices himself and tackles Bill Paxton off of a cliff inside that crevasse, and I guess they fall to hell. I don't know. It's just a dark, look at this.
Son of a bitch.
Peter and Annie, they make it, and whatever, they somehow get out of that crevasse without any help, come all the way down the mountain with everyone's all hurt and all this kind of stuff, and they make it. So movie. As far as the actors and the acting, the stand-up performances clearly go to Bill Paxton and Scott Glenn. Those two were believable in their roles, and it's something how Bill Paxton plays that rich billionaire asshole type so well. The underwhelming performances were from the 2 leads, Chris O'Donnell and Robin Tooney, who in my opinion are just not that good altogether, just as in, just with acting in general. And every time we see them, they play these roles where they just seem like they have no idea what's going on. Chris O'Donnell might be okay when he's not the lead, but have you seen him lately? Nope, so I guess not. And as far as the lead actress goes, I mean, ooh, pros and cons. What I liked and didn't like about the movie. What I liked about the movie is that it's really fun to watch because they take everything so seriously. Too seriously, in fact. It was like they wanted something like Cliffhanger, but the story was just a simple, realistic rescue mission. So somehow they had to rope in nitroglycerin, explosions, and all kinds of stuff, a little revenge plot, and just a lot of crazy stuff they had to rope in there, but, to kind of make it kind of action, but it really was just a simple rescue story, which could have just been a made-for-TV type movie. What did not work in this movie, definitely a con, was Chris O'Donnell and Robin Tooney. They're just not that enjoyable to watch acting in general. I mean, when I watched The Craft back in the day, great movie, but she definitely was the worst part. And that movie she was in with Arnold Schwarzenegger, The Sixth Day or something like that, it's like she's just same distressed, can't do anything for herself type character, and those roles are just very, very boring to watch for me, and she's just not that dramatic, just flat, very flat. And Chris O'Donnell just can't act. Lessons learned. Let's see here, the themes and morals of this movie and what are some lessons to take away? I would have to say that this movie definitely has themes of man versus nature. The movie is about a man who has to overcome his fears of climbing a mountain to rescue his sister after a bad experience happens.
God damn it.
Damn.
As far as moral dilemmas, the movie explores the question of whether to sacrifice one person for the benefit of others. The movie is kind of asking the audience to think about the value of human life in natural disasters and situations. And the movie explores the idea of it might be necessary to cut someone loose who's putting everyone else in danger. Audience recommendations. The target audience for Vertical Limit 2000 would have to be primarily people who enjoy high-octane action with the focus on extreme outdoor adventure, particularly those interested in mountain climbing, obviously, snowboarding, survival movies, with a secondary appeal for audiences looking for a thrilling story with intense visuals and suspense. Clearly, this will appeal to young adults and action movie enthusiasts. Vertical Limit is rated PG-13 due to its intense, serious life or death situations. And I would recommend this movie because it's very funny without trying to be. The story is not that good and very predictable, but the execution and tone were so serious that it comes off as being a made-for-TV cliffhanger type movie with much lesser actors, except Bill Paxton. Creators and team. This movie was written by Robert King and Terrell Hayes. They really didn't write anything else good together after this, so that's it with them as a team. The director is Martin Campbell, who directed the smash hit Casino Royale, The Mask of Zorro, and GoldenEye. And the producers were the same person who wrote it and some other people, and I don't know, you can look it up yourself. So in conclusion, I would rate this movie a solid B because it had A-list everything around it except the two leads, and they tried their best, but the movie itself just could not get past how funny it was. You know, it was just funny. So there it is. Let me know down in the comments if you like this movie, would you recommend to others, and what was your favorite part? Here's mine.
God damn it.
Damn. No, ma'am.
Son of a bitch.
Damn. Son of a bitch.
Heads up! God bless America.
Look at how much blood came out that bag.
Damn. Money.
Son of a bitch.